Coming up, Tzu Chi volunteers in the Philippines distribute aid supplies to residents affected by a typhoon. And we meet a Tzu Chi recipient in Taiwan who has turned his sorrow into strength to help other less fortunate people. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Siri Su. Thank you for joining us. In October of 2015, Cabanatuan City of Nueva Ecija province in the Philippines was struck by a typhoon. Currently, many residents are still in need of assistance. Therefore, Tzu Chi volunteers recently conducted an aid distribution for 601 households.
There are hundreds of people gathered here for an aid distribution, but things proceed orderly as Tzu Chi volunteers deliver relief goods to 601 families. On October 18th, 2015, a typhoon struck Cabanatuan City, ruining the livelihoods of many households who have yet to recover.
This entire area, when the first typhoon came, it ruined our fields and crops. Then, as soon as we replanted seeds, the second typhoon just showed up and ruined it all again. People here rely on agriculture and fishing to get by, so we really are thankful for the Tzu Chi Foundation coming here and delivering aid like this.
In the aftermath of disasters like this one, fortunately, the community has come together to encourage one another, and Tzu Chi volunteers are there to help them rebuild.
Marietta is always working so hard, but life has become so difficult. So it is difficult for her to keep her home safely and healthy. And then when typhoons came, her home is often damaged, which makes me feel so sorry for her. But I'm unable to do anything. So we're so thankful for Tzu Chi and so happy you're here helping all of these people, especially Marietta.
For mothers worrying about their children receiving 3 meals a day and being unable to study, Tzu Chi's delivery of 20 kilograms of rice today has brought smiles and relieved these families of a heavy burden.
To thank Tzu Chi for providing aid to the residents affected by Typhoon Haiyan, Mayor of Palo and some entrepreneurs came to Taiwan. Not only did they go to the abode in Hualien to visit Master Yearend, but they also attended a year-end blessing ceremony.
Typhoon Haiyan devastated the Philippines in 2013. Tzu Chi volunteers immediately mobilized to carry out relief. Filled with gratitude, local volunteers, entrepreneurs, and the Mayor of Palo, Remedios Patia, came to Taiwan to visit Master Yearend.
我们都是很虔诚为他祝福啊！大家都是用力量的付出啊！感恩因大家人用心用爱呢，一直都陪伴在那里。
Mayor Patia seized the opportunity to express her gratitude toward Tzu Chi, as Tzu Chi volunteers not only have built temporary houses for disaster survivors, but have also provided them vocational training so that they can settle down and lead a happy life again.
Personally, thank you and Tzu Chi Foundation for all the help, for everything that you have done for us there. We pray that our people will be just like you here in Tzu Chi Foundation and be a people of love and kindness and compassion.
Mayor Patia also attended a year-end blessing ceremony, hoping that she could learn more about Tzu Chi's values and bring them back to the Philippines to share with her people and inspire them to help others.
One Tzu Chi recipient, Mr. Tru's daughter, suffers from a skin problem, and the doctor found out that it's a rare genetic disease. A doctor in Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital visited this family and discovered that the mother also has it. Therefore, both the mother and daughter were sent to the hospital.
When it rains, the house also leaks and there's mold everywhere. Tzu Chi volunteers had mistaken that it was why the eldest daughter has a rash.
I thought the rash on her face came from her mom. I didn't know it's caused by the inside of her body.
Last year, Tzu Chi volunteers took the daughter to a hospital for examination and found out she suffers from the tuberous sclerosis complex. So a doctor from Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital came to examine her again.
This disease is genetic, so we are here to see if other family members have this disease. We suspect Sulan's mother also has this problem, and we are ready to give them any medical aid they need.
随时可以提供医疗上的协助。
他这样的疾病
The disease doesn't allow the mother to go to work, so she serves as our recycling volunteer as a way to sow blessings and to make her life fulfilling.
更充实。
After knowing their conditions, Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital has taken the mother and the daughter to the hospital for more examinations and further treatment.
In the following 5 days, we'll bring you a series of reports related to Tzu Chi's famous free clinics and how they came to be in this day and age. In our first episode, we take you back to 1972 when Tzu Chi began its free clinic for the poor in Hualien, and we'll find out how the Medical Association got its name and recruited doctors. Here's more in our report.
Here at the Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital, there is a special area saved for Tima's dental-free clinic, especially for those who suffer from mental or physical impairments to come get their teeth checked.
有进步哦。不错啊，你没用牙线啊？
你没有牙线？
没用牙线，来看一下。
Dentist Xie Jinlong has taken care of this pair of brothers' teeth for the past 6 years. In the beginning, it was such a battle.
Some children have a natural fear of getting their teeth checked, so when they get near these doors, nothing we can do will get them to go in.
They will get nervous and kick around their legs.
踢来踢去哈。
就这意思。对啊，好，不客气。好。
为什么不害怕呢？
With the model, curing sickness, healing people, and healing hearts, Tzu Chi's medical-free clinic for the poor in Hualien City's Yearend Street opened its doors on September 10, 1972.
这个日子哦，一辈子都会记得。
40 years ago, Taiwan's economy was in a bad shape.
民国60年的年代，其实台湾医院非常少，都是大医院。
一般民众求医并不是那么方便。
Citizens didn't have easy access to medical services. The other reason was that Taiwan's economy wasn't that well off, and we didn't have a central health insurance in place.
住院那时候对
Hospital stays were expensive. Some people would have to sell their house or property. Some even went as far as selling their daughters off. That's what it was like in 1971.
那个时代啊，民国60年的时候啊。
Thankfully, for Fang Liying, she didn't have to sell off anything. In 1973's February issue of Tzu Chi Monthly, the story of Fang Liying's surgery for tumor removal, paid for by Tzu Chi, was featured. She was 11 at the time and went to the free clinic to seek treatment for her colds, but ended up needing so much more.
很感恩，真的很感恩。
对是。当时刀拢我咧开的，我外科医师。
我当年嘛无甲救啊。
If he didn't save me back then, I wouldn't be here today.
Tzu Chi's free clinic went on for 15 years before Hualien Tzu Chi Hospital officially opened in 1986. Upon its retirement, the free clinic had served over 140,000 impoverished patients. In 1996, thanks to Tzu Chi Medical Staff Association, free clinics came out of retirement. The goal of this medical association was to bring medical services to more people. In 1998, the association was officially named Tzu Chi Medical Association.
There were many suggestions for which characters to use. One was the character that represented kindness and benevolence. The other was one that meant person. In the end, Master Junghwa decided on the character for person for 2 reasons. One, our medical mission puts people first, as it's not enough to say we're Tzu Chi, so we have compassion. We think about what others might be going through. Second, it is because we're a medical association made up of Tzu Chi people.
In the beginning, Tima members were very difficult to recruit, especially in the north.
Sometimes we wait for them after their clinic hours. Other time we go to the big hospitals to wait for doctors.
We'd wait until they would have time, and when we head in to talk with them and slowly introduce our goal and mission to them.
In the beginning, we really had a difficult time inviting doctors to join us.
After getting enough volunteers, they then began making house calls, bringing medical care to remote mountain regions and to those patients who can't leave their home.
早上6点去
We'd meet up at 6 in the morning and get home around 10 at night. Among the entire team, including the nurses, no one would breathe a word of complaint. It's thanks to these free clinics that we have cultivated many medical staff with such compassionate hearts.
The medical outreach program has also helped heal the doctors spiritually. Joining TIMA in 2000, Dr. Xie Jinlong has been involved in numerous free clinics for the past 16 years, so much so that he even took on 50 free clinics for the mentally or physically disabled in 1 year.
小时候，因为我们住台北嘛，就知道有个马偕医院嘛。
Growing in Taipei, we all heard of McKay Memorial Hospital. I felt if a foreigner can give selflessly in Taiwan,
一个外国人可以这样，为什么？
if a foreigner can do it, then why can't I as well?
为什么做不到？
OK， 谢谢。
去义诊，我觉得这是我们医生本分应该要做的事情，所以我觉得是很自然的事情。
Tzu Chi volunteers in Hebei's Henshui City recently held a winter aid distribution. This year, only 78 households received aid, but there were nearly 60 volunteers on site to help with the distribution effort.
In Hebei, Tzu Chi volunteers depart before daybreak to prepare for the winter aid distribution in Wuyi County of Hengshui City.
别拍了，是什么？
In low temperatures of less than 10 below freezing, volunteers discover the salt that was meant to be distributed have frozen into clumps. Volunteers worked to break up the blocks of frozen salt one by one.
Someone will help to make sure the recipients leave a fingerprint on the aid distribution name list. This way we can keep our records.
To support the traditional distribution activities, volunteers from Beijing come to help give the local residents the best service possible.
If it seems like there may be a problem, I'll remind them of the possibility. We've got a lot of new volunteers today, so we don't want to let anything disrupt the distribution process.
In these cold temperatures, volunteers are worried about seniors keeping warm and on the lookout for any way they can help.
Here, let's put some heat packs here. Put these on your knees. You'll keep nice and warm this way. This may be your rheumatism acting up.
This year, the aid recipients are few in number. This aid recipient, Cao Jinling, is paralyzed and sits in a cart as volunteers help her load the distribution goods.
As we give to others, we have a chance to give smiles to others. That's a wonderful feeling to me.
While standing in line, the single parent, Zhang Lanqing, recognizes a volunteer who cared for her previously and couldn't hold back her tears.
要坚强，不要老哭啊！日子会越来越好，对，越来越好。你想的日子好，它就好了。不能老哭了啊！
Her significant other has suffered a serious car crash and passed away, and now she still has to care for her son who's epileptic. When I see the hardship these people face, I really understand just how fortunate I am.
As the volunteers sees the aid recipients off with well wishes and supplies, residents head home looking forward to a warm and joyful new year.
The Tzu Chi Junghwa chapter recently hosted a year-end reunion banquet for more than 200 care recipients. Among the participants is a man who has turned his sorrow and misfortune into the strength to help other less fortunate people.
The Tzu Chi Junghwa chapter hosted a year-end reunion feast for more than 200 care recipients. Among the participants is Mr. Chan, who has grown stronger through Tzu Chi volunteers' care.
Tzu Chi volunteers have been caring for me since my wife and son passed away. They never left me.
Mr. Chen, who once had a happy family, lost his wife and son to mitochondrial diseases. Not complaining about his life, Mr. Chen continues to work hard and even joined the rank of recycling volunteers. The volunteers have witnessed the ups and downs in his life.
He made several books of medical records for his wife. He looked after her and measured her blood pressure. I told him, you should become a caregiver.
At different times, we meet different friends. I've realized it's important for us to give of ourselves and cultivate blessings.
Having lost his wife and eldest son, Mr. Chen found the strength to start his life anew with the help of Tzu Chi volunteers. He also hopes his life story can encourage others to stay strong in facing adversities.
Tzu Chi volunteers in Tainan recently held a year-end reunion feast for their care recipients. At the event, one care recipient, Miss Yu, took to the stage to express her gratitude for Tzu Chi volunteers who turned her life around.
The lady on stage is Miss Yu. After she divorced her husband, her son has been living with her ex-husband. What's worse, she was diagnosed with diabetes, liver disease, and tumors 7 years ago. In the lows of her life, she came across Tzu Chi volunteers.
I didn't want to go to see the doctor, but she took me to the hospital. She also helped me move, otherwise I'm too weak to move alone.
Miss Yu goes to the recycling station by bike to do recycling at least 3 times a week. She also participates in the musical adaptation.
I'm more positive now, and I don't wallow in pain anymore.
The students of Gangwei Elementary School also seize time to do volunteer work. Their teachers have taken them here to serve the care recipients.
In our society, there are many people in need of assistance, so we should help them with love.
By benefiting others, our lives are enriched. Our selfless love is like a light which illuminates the dark corners. With the care of the volunteers, the care recipients in Tainan will be embracing a future filled with love.
In our next report, we meet a Tzu Chi volunteer in Kaohsiung who is originally from Vietnam. Miss Wang, who is a Vietnamese, came to Taiwan 14 years ago as a foreign bride. 3 years ago, she became a Tzu Chi volunteer and began to introduce Tzu Chi to her fellow Vietnamese in the community. This year, they performed traditional Vietnamese dances at Tzu Chi's year-end reunion banquet, which amazed their children and the audience.
The dancers wearing beautiful garments are performing traditional Vietnamese dances, which caught everyone's attention. The dancers are all Vietnamese, and the one leading them is Tzu Chi volunteer Typhoon Haiyan.
I invited my fellow Vietnamese in my community to attend Tzu Chi's activities so they can feel the love of Tzu Chi. After that, they wanted to give back, so we decided to give this performance of traditional Vietnamese dances.
Seeing their mothers on the stage, the children of those Vietnamese dancers are all amazed by their mother's performance. This activity let the children see a new aspect in both their mothers and Vietnamese culture.
That dance is a beautiful part of Vietnamese culture.
This is a part of Vietnamese culture. It helped me know more about Vietnam.
The performance gave those Vietnamese mothers more confidence and let their children saw a new aspect of Vietnamese culture.
Happy New Year!
In the United States, the Tzu Chi Northern California chapter held a class for members of Tzu Chi High School group on January 10th with the theme Gratitude, Respect, and Love. During this class, the volunteers helped the students realize the source of happiness through games and activities.
Volunteers in Northern California chapter hold the first class in 2016 on gratitude, respect, and love for members of Tzu Chi High School group.
Thank you. Nice meeting you.
The reason we hold this class on gratitude, respect, and love goes back to the time after Hurricane Sandy. Many people who didn't know Chinese signed up to be our volunteers, so they needed some information on Tzu Chi and what we do.
Giving is more blessed than receiving. The student find the source of happiness through experiment.
And what I'm going to take out of this class is when I go to school and other places, I definitely practice the act of showing gratitude, respect, and love. Because if I show that, other people will feel this warm feeling and want to do the same.
66 Tzu Chi volunteers and collegiate students accompany 146 high school students through the class.
When our experienced volunteers see these high school students being so dedicated, the volunteers feel there's hope in Tzu Chi, and they have faith in Tzu Chi.
Through sharing and learning in this class, these high school students realize that they should pass on love through gesture of kindness.
In early celebration of the Lunar New Year, some students from Wuchang Elementary School in Taipei went to Bali Nursing Home to enjoy a year-end reunion feast with the seniors there. The students also performed drums and sang for the seniors, hoping to bring these grandpas and grandmas some New Year festivities.
Students from Wuchang Elementary School have come to Bali Nursing Home to make snacks and enjoy lunch with grandmas and grandpas.
I want to make these grandpas and grandmas happy and spread love to them.
We realize that the seniors need companionship, so we want to have year-end reunion feast with them before the Lunar New Year.
The young students also perform for the seniors, so the grandpas and grandmas can feel some familiar warmth and love.
I came ready to play African drum and sing 2 songs, including Granny's Peng Hu Bei and I Believe. I want to make them happy.
Before lunch, the students also play ball games with the seniors, bringing smiles to the faces of the grandpas and grandmas. At the heartwarming gathering, the students have also learned to cherish their own blessings and be grateful.
In Malaysia, to canvass for donations to build a new Jing Si Hall in Moor of Johor, Tzu Chi volunteers have been visiting families and giving out coin banks. In addition, they also sold New Year snacks at a local temple and attracted many buyers. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.